What's up, guys? So I just wanted to make a video for the first sprint, the channel customer fit sprint. So read the accompanying article. It's very important for the general idea and just laying the groundwork for what we're doing or what I'm talking about in this video. But yeah, just wanted to update you on these past 2 weeks, the sprint, getting the channel customer fit. Yeah, I'm just gonna run through it. It's gonna be a kind of the bare bones, rough video production means. Okay, so basically the goal of the sprint, getting to channel customer fit. If you read through the article, it like describes how you quantifiably determine what the criteria should be. So it's like 10 plus customer conversations with early adopters, and like you should shoot for 15 really. And so it's like at least to cover a customer conversation per day. And I didn't hit that. I failed. It's important. I failed. So I talked to 3 people, which is bad. And the main reason is I just didn't have enough leads per day. So to really talk to 10 people or to talk to 1 person a day, you should really shoot for 10 to 100 leads per day for like a 1 to 10% conversion rate of like interaction to conversation, depending on like how high touch or low touch the interaction method is, like whether you're texting them or running an ad or whatever. So yeah, why did I fail? This is like a sprint planning review meeting or whatever. But so basically I'm gonna talk about like what I did, how I did it. I'll show like the videos, or like I'll show like screen recordings of them, and then just some like thoughts that changed in my mind over these 2 weeks. Okay, so why did I not do enough leads? So last week I didn't track my hours for the first week, but for last week I only did 30 hours of work, which is awful. And there was like some errand stuff that I had to do because I moved, like my vehicle was like a bunch of shit. But honestly, like I did not have to be doing that during work hours. And so I started doing this thing where for a whole week, every 30 minutes, you track what you did in those 30 minutes. And then at the end, you like, at the end of the week, you categorize them all into buckets. And then you specify like whether that bucket helps or detracts from the goal. And then you try to eliminate or reduce or automate or delegate the bad stuff and try to do more of the good stuff. And so this was a good time to run that thing, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So 1, I didn't do enough work. 2, there was like some distracted work while I was doing work. So like 1 was I was reading like Beeminder forums and the articles that the founders write, just to like the forums to understand like people's gripes, which is important, is like kind of important, but still a little distracted. And then the articles is like their solution design, which is interesting, but like there's only like an incremental improvement I got, I would say. So probably should have skipped that and like focused on the main goal. And like the forums did give me like remote customer problem fit, meaning like there are people that have the problem, but it's still a question whether I can reach them, right? That's important. So 1, like doing too much reading, honestly. 2, I was becoming the customer. That's important. So like using Beeminder and Forfeit and Overlord and stuff, like those are the good existing alternatives. There's like some other stuff I want to try. There's like Bots as a Service, and there's there's like 2 other things that I discovered by reading these forums and stuff of existing alternatives, which is important. And it's fine. Like becoming the customer is fine and important. Like I was like actually going through the workflow as a user and like trying to do habits and stuff. And you should do that, but you should hit the customer conversation goals, like the sprint goals first. So I think I'm gonna like make sure my first 4-hour block of the day is laser focused on whatever the goal is, and I'll just like in the Pomodoros write down like something that comes to mind just to address later. And like it's okay to start suboptimally, you need the momentum, but like this has to get fixed. Okay, and then like the third distracted work thing was I did some solution design because it feels like we're kind of already at that point from channel customer to customer problem to solution design. So that was okay because like it's starting to seem like that's the riskiest assumption, which like from the onset, like the riskiest assumption is probably like, can you build a thing that actually solves the habit problem? But you want to validate that you can get there. And like if it takes 2 weeks to get there, then just spend the 2 weeks. Because even if you figure out the solution, you're gonna have to find people to pitch anyway, right? So find those people first because that's chronologically in order. So you're gonna have to do like even if you think that product is the riskiest assumption and you do solution design first, after you've built that like demo of a solution, you still have to find people to show it to, right? And since you have to do that anyway, you might as well start there in case while you're talking to those people, you uncover that you were wrong, that there was some assumption you were making that was wrong, right? Okay, so the solution to like all this garbage shit that I just mentioned, mainly like the big 2080 here is just not doing enough work, is so the track where your time goes thing. So like I said, I've been doing it for the past week, and like looking at what I've been doing, my conclusions are for how to like optimize me as a system to better work on the business as a system is one, block my phone in the mornings. So like I'll wake up and then just like, when I'm in the bathroom, I'm just like using my phone before starting work, which is just stupid. And like I have previously blocked it with like Downtown and Password Locker and stuff. I disabled it because I was trying Forfeit, and then I never re-enabled it. And like Forfeit doesn't do great screen time blocking. So all right, so that's one thing. Another thing is like errands, like food shopping. I either need to automate that and just like have it delivered, or just do it on a rest day, on my like Saturday or Sunday rest day. And then same with like cleaning and laundry and plants, or like I have a fuck ton of plants that I water every so often. But like that stuff just needs to be done on the rest day. And then the one-off activities, like I did vehicle registration, I had blood tests, I had like all this stuff. Like, should never schedule that for the morning. Like, always do your 4-hour block first and then do those later. And like the blood testing, I can fast anyway. That's like once every 6 months. So don't hang out with friends during the week. Like even in the evening, don't. I think I'm gonna like have my text messages in like a narrow window in the day, like accessible. Yeah, that was my 30 minutes going off. But yeah, have my text messages blocked during the day such that like there's only a 2-hour window or something where I can message people, because it's just nothing is urgent really. And then need to block YouTube, which I previously had blocked and disabled, or I can temptation bundle it with work or like with something, which is that's gonna be important later. And then the weekends, I should only have 1 free day, not 2 free days. And if I need to run errands, do it only on the free day. Say no to fun stuff. Like we're sacrificing all our like desires and shit unless you temptation bundle them. Like I already lived the fun life, so now we're in grind mode again. And then at the end of the day, log number of hours worked and examine the 30-minute where time goes. I think I'm gonna do this 30-minute where time goes thing, like not just for a week, every month, like Sam Ovens recommends. It's in this video called Designing for Optimal Defaults, which is also an important method for AS. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do it every day. And I might make a little automation on my phone just to make that a little easier. But yeah, it like seems very valuable until it seems like I have it dialed in where there's like little changes to be added. Okay, so that was like the leading measure accountability. So what did I actually do? So I'm going to show you some of these things, but you can search up my username MXGZX on Reddit and BMiner forums and the Don't Die app to see like what I was commenting on, what I was saying, what I was posting and stuff. Okay, so I had 3 customer conversations. One was from on our blueprint. Someone posted about having an accountability buddy. I reached out to him. We started like messaging for quite a while and talking and stuff. And so that guy's a problem scale 3 customer, like someone who knows what a solution might look like, but hasn't done any real work in actually implementing it. I would like send him like some apps that like kind of described what he was looking for, and he didn't try them. So that's not a customer, like that's not an early adopter. So that one was a miss. Okay. And then second person was from my other company, Password Locker. So he like emailed me about a feature request, and I emailed him back and then like basically asked him about this. and freaking amazingly, he was a Forfeit Beeminder user. So we chatted on the phone for like 40 minutes. I have that recorded. Maybe I'll post it one day. But he's a problem scale 5 customer. I've like met so few of these, but these are people with duct tape solutions and are willing to give you money right now. And so this guy just like sees something new, just like that might help, just buys it. But what's interesting, so definitely early adopter, definitely channel customer fit sort of from this non-scalable necessarily channel, but at least from like a problem perspective, it's actually solved for him. Like he doesn't have the problem with using Overlord, Forfeit Overlord. Like he's built a system that for the last few months has only derailed once or twice. And we were talking about like what he does, like work-wise and gym-wise and stuff like that, going through like his whole workflow and like what he sets and just having him like go in excruciating detail about everything. And so the thing is though, he went through like months or years, like he's in his 40s, of like iterating to get to this point where he's in this multi-month good state. So previously he had a problem to solve and just grinded through it. But like at this moment, he's not a customer, or he hasn't the customer problem fit. Like he has no problem. There's no problem. And then the third guy was promising. So this guy, I came from a Beeminder forum, and I'm going to show you this in a sec. But like, basically I was on the Beeminder, I was reading the Beeminder forums and then just like messaging, like people would have problems and I'd like offer solutions. And then like, basically this is just the giving value thing. So like the Russell Brunson idea, like at every step, at every interaction with someone, you provide value at a price that's less than the value you're providing. Like the price is 10x less than the value you're providing. And so in the earlier parts of the funnel, that price is $0. So you basically give lots of value for $0. And then they're like, oh, I've been getting lots of value from him. And then then they want to keep getting value from you. So then they ascend up your value ladder. So presumably you have another offering where you are charging money, but they still buy it because it seems like value is like 10 times higher than the price that they're paying. And then again, they keep ascending the value ladder. So anyway, so like you can maybe pay for conversations. That's basically like providing value. But another one is like you actually provide value and then you send them. So anyway, so when we're on this like Beeminder forum, like from just Atomic Habits, like stuff that I've read and like internalized, was just like providing lots of solutions. And like I said, you can look up my username MXGZX. It's called like Don't Be Mind Habits, Be Mind Nudges or something like that. But I'm gonna show you. So just like we were going back and forth, providing value, chatting, and then I ended up sending a direct message, and then we talked on the phone for like 30 minutes. And his problem is that he's been iterating inside Beeminder for a long time with multiple fails, completely stopped, restart, decreasing. Like, so basically the problem is like, and in his own words, that Beeminder is like providing the tracking accountability, but the background, like it's the overarching thing, but the background is missing. What do you have to do on the inside to make it work? How to iterate on the inside? And so we were talking about habit stacking and stuff like that. And he's like duct taping a habit stack plus accountability solution. So yeah, it seems like solving the inside is the problem. And so, yeah, so like the Atomic Habit stuff. And yeah, and he's a indie hacker, which is interesting because like another customer segment was the entrepreneurs, like specifically the indie hackers. So it was cool that happened. And yeah, I provided more value on the call. Oh, another thing I was thinking about was like doing a concierge MVP, like doing one-on-one, like rather than like building this whole solution, which I don't even know like whether I can nail first shot. Like I make the demo and stuff and I deliver it to people. Like it might not even be delivering insane amounts of value there. I might need to do one-on-one with people to like see these patterns to then generalize to other people. So I kind of am trying to do that with this guy, and like gave him some solutions for sleep, for morning stuff, and whatever. It doesn't matter. You'll see. So, and then where have I been getting leads from? So this is just the channel section of the Lean Canvas, which I've shown you previously. But I posted on Blueprint Reddit, like what do people try, and like the comments were shit, basically. I then posted on the Don't Die app, and there were a fuck ton of comments. I didn't realize for like a whole week because I wasn't getting notifications, and I completely forgot about it. And I looked again, and I was like, oh my god! So I have to follow up with all those people, and they look like a motivated crowd. Like that, this actually might work, and these guys are like very responsive on this app. So it seems like I can communicate with these guys. So I think that's a very promising channel. And then just commenting on Blueprint Reddit, and then there are these. This is like something I realized later. There's our accountability. There's like all these people that post like for accountability partners, and then I just like message them and be like, yeah, let's do it. And then they don't respond. It's just hilarious, which classic. That's kind of expected. BeMiner forum, obviously. Password blocker. I can like have a little banner. Oh, Google Ads. So I ran Google Ads. This I actually did previously, like a couple weeks ago, while I was, doing like non-work stuff. But I'll show you those. So basically the idea was like run Google Ads for some Atomic Habits keywords. So this is just me testing like the Google Ads channel. And then the ads are like curiosity-based headlines. This is like Russell Brunson. This is like the lead squeeze funnel in .com secrets that he talks about. So just like some curiosity-based ads, and then the landing page is just like, hey, we're like doing customer research. We'll pay you, I don't know, $50 for a 30-minute conversation or whatever I have. And they enter their email, and then they select like a Calendly link. And no one did it. And there were 40 clicks, and no one even gave their email. It's not even like they were giving their email and then dropping off at the link setup. They were just not giving their email either. So one, like maybe not enough leads. Like I figured like the conversion rate would be like 10%, which is not the case because I'm giving them money, but I guess they're trading time. So I don't know how to assess maybe. Presumably like the more, like if I gave $1,000, people are going to sign up, right? So it seems like theoretically this should always work. Maybe they don't believe the thing, but the other thing is like 40 clicks is like, if one person signs up, that's a 2.5% conversion rate. Like you should probably have enough clicks to measure a 1% conversion rate. So I should have probably had 100 people. Anyway, so yeah, I'll like give more thoughts about that when I show you that. And let's just do that right now. So I'm gonna switch over. Okay, so here's some of the results from the Google Ads. I'm just doing this on my phone because whatever. So yeah, CTR was 6%. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I'm paying for clicks, so 40 clicks, 600 impressions, and it was like $250 per click. And the keywords were Atomic Habits, and then basically some of the other apps like Forfeit and BeMiner and stuff, but there were no clicks from those. Like the search volumes are too low, so pretty much every click except for like 2 was for Atomic Habits. So I'll show you the ads. So this is the page, the landing page I'll show you in a sec. So like these are just some of the headlines. Like I had GPT like just generate curiosity-based headlines and just some random stuff. So you could like pause if you really want or whatever. And then the the landing page was this. So I think it looks better on desktop. It's all one page. But yeah, like we'll just pay you to use whatever, to use the existing alternatives. We're paying you. I changed that from $50 to $100 because no one was signing up for $50. And then the thing, and then you enter your email address, and then I guess I could just show you the flow. I'll just put whatever here. So, and then whether you rely on whatever, blah, blah, blah. So book your interview spot. And then this is just like Google has a little thing, little widget thingamajig. So yeah, so you get the point. But no one even gave their email address. So that's the thing about this. Like if this doesn't work, like if you're not able to source conversations from this funnel, and now you're like debugging that funnel, like that's a huge problem. Like now you're on this multivariable problem, solving something that's off funnel. It's like not even part of your regular funnel. So you're like doing this like tangential funnel, and then now you have to debug this other thing. Like that's a big problem. So that shouldn't happen. So like you would want this to be reliable, and presumably it would be, because you're paying money for customer conversations, and you really could give them like freaking $500. Like people are gonna take it for $500, or like freaking $5,000, right? People are gonna take it, right? So there is some price where people will take the conversation. Obviously, like you're not gonna spend that much, and also like if you have to spend a lot, it's fine because you're only doing this for like 10 people, so it's not a scalable expense. But like this should work, and yeah, I don't know why, but I might like not debug this. But yeah, this is still like an unsolved problem for me here. Like presumably any traction channel that you would use to acquire customers, you can use to source customer conversations, and so ads, like anything, right? And all you're doing is changing the call to action to this thing where you're gonna pay them for a customer conversation. That should work. That should work. Like that should work. And like empiricism is always different because of the unknown unknowns. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm actually gonna run the Google ads again. I'm gonna increase I'll run it for longer so that we get like at least 100 clicks, and like see if there is like a 1% conversion rate. And then also I'm gonna change the keywords to like Atomic Habits software or habit apps or stuff like that. And like the CPCs will probably be a little lower. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Google ads. Okay, and so this is the B Miner forum where I was talking with a guy publicly, and funneled him up to like a customer conversation on the phone. So I just I don't really it's not really important that I show you this thing. I just want to show it to you once, like how like providing value works, and then like you'll get the gist. Anyway, so I found this forum, like there were people that still had problems, so I just like added some value, talk about whatever, and then yeah, and so going back and forth for a while, and then just adding new value, blah 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 blah. Like I'm just kind of going through this quickly so that you can just like pause and read if you really want to. And yeah, he's like duct taping solution. Anyway, so in the end, so after like that 3 chat exchange, I messaged him, and then I was like, hey, we might as well talk on the phone, and we did, and then had the customer conversation. So that's like another method, I guess. It's basically like the traction channel where you congregate where people are, and like this can happen physically, but it can happen digitally as well. And then you're basically just having customer conversations by text, and then you could graduate them to a call. But obviously I'm not saying like, hey, I'm going to pay you. So yeah. Okay, so that basically covers regarding the channel customer fit, like actual goals, and like on track and off track, that stuff. So now I just want to talk about like my daily, like some of the thoughts that I had during the sprint, like having read stuff and thinking about stuff. There's like a lot more like granular stuff, but the bigger ones, just because like, I don't know, just so it feels like you're in it if you're curious. So first I like figured I would like tackle forfeit, because anyway, like it's just too small. So B Miner is like 10 times larger, and they have like the forum to source from and stuff like that. Oh, but talking to a guy, he mentioned that forfeit has a Discord. So I joined the Discord. So that can be a channel as well. Anyway, so, and yeah, decided to become the customer. And like it seems like we have proof of a channel and customers, but reaching them is like the risky assumption. Okay, so I figured like for a long time that the problem with like the commitment devices was like this, and I wrote a blog post like during the middle of the sprint about this. But it's like 2 parts, like one retention wise and another activation wise. So the retention is bad because you're only getting punished over time, and you basically want to leave a system like this when you're only getting punished. Like the long-term thinking you that like has enough motivation to get through it, but eventually like that wanes, and then you're only getting punished, and positive punishment is like not a good long-term motivator. So there's a retention problem. Instead, you need positive reinforcement. And then the activation issue is like the idea of a commitment device, like getting charged money if you don't do something, is kind of intense. And so the subspace of people that will agree to that solution, that will like register for it, is smaller. And so that was my primary assumption about why the existing alternatives don't really work. And that is not necessarily the main thing. So talking to people, it seemed like what is really the problem, I guess, amongst the people that use it though, is figuring out how to iterate on the inside. And I talked about this earlier, but like the things give you flexible accountability and tracking. And like Beeminer has all this like the Kraja theory stuff, and the Kraja Horizon, like stuff I read, and it's like good solution design. But so they give you like this flexible tracking and accountability, but what you do on the inside you have to figure out. And like it takes a long time to get that working, or you never get it working, or like you drop off when like urgent tasks come up, which are like will always feel more important than the important non-urgent tasks. So yeah, so it seems like what needs to be solved is like the inside, all like applying all the Atomic Habits stuff. Okay, and then so so it felt like channel is there. I can find customers on channel. Whether I can reach them, like it's like this really high touch weird way, but it's starting to feel like the risky assumption is turning into problem solution fit. Like whether I can design a solution that solves this problem, which is expected. Like that does feel like the riskiest assumption. And so I figured like I should start sort of solving this for myself. But secondarily, like primarily whatever the sprint goal is, whatever along the funnel I'm working on is the primary goal, but like secondarily do this. And then like I was mentioning, like do this one-on-one concierge MVP thing, to see if I can like solve it with like my whole being, and then assuming that I can do that, then write software, which is really just like a scalability risk, right? Like the software is just about scalability. It's like ideally I can just interact with 1 million people one-on-one and solve their problem, right? But I can't. So the software is just to scale me. So it's a scalability risk. But yeah, so like, and because we don't know that I can like solve the problem and like give enough value, it makes sense to do it in the very high touch, non-scalable way, do things that don't scale, the concierge MVP. So I might start like transitioning towards trying to do this. And like for the initial customers, like, yeah. Okay, so there was like this little tangent, this little night, I almost wrote a blog post about this, but like, I was wondering like, why doesn't everyone use commitment devices for habits? And like, besides like whatever activation retention issues or whatever it is, there's also a business model issue. Like, cause I did the math, and the pay if you derail business model doesn't work. And it doesn't work because, so I basically calculated forfeits revenue and stuff. And like, it's, I was using Wayback Machine, and like on their homepage, they like mentioned how much money was staked and like what % of people have derailed or succeeded. And using the Wayback Machine, I could like check their revenue over time basically. And so I basically wanted to know what the customer lifetime value was. And it's basically, and like, I'm just going to skip all the calculations, but it was basically like $1 to $8 a month. Customer, like, is the value of the customer. And that's low. Like, that's low for lots of channels. Like, you can't really make ads work. Like, assuming 1% conversion rates, and like a CLV that low, and like and with like the given CPCs, even if you have a really cheap CPC, like less than $1, like on some like Reddit or whatever, it's too low. It's too low of a CLV for the customer acquisition cost on most channels. So that's like might be one reason. So like they have to use these other solutions like blogs and referrals and like blog referrals and like whatever. That's kind of like the channels that they've been using to acquire customers, and SEO and like, yeah. So that could be one. And then Beeminer is also like $1 to $6, and like I found some stats they published online, like they're very transparent. And like that company is a big problem. Like they took a long time to pivot. They're like a zombie startup. Um, I think there's 5 people that make $1 million a year. Like that's 100 grand a person. Like that's bad. They've been in business for 10 years. Like they should have pivoted a long time ago. Just read the Lean Startup. Like read the measure chapter of the Lean Startup. That's my advice. Anyway, so I think better is probably, so if the pay if you derail business model doesn't work, I think better is to like have that as like a lead magnet. So you have like the existing forfeit thing as a lead magnet, pay if you derail, which is like pretty easy to sign up for, because you're not paying money actively. And then you have another tier. You just send people up your value ladder for like $8 a month, and you just provide more value. And if you only did the latter, which they actually did recently, I think they changed their pricing to $8 a month and got rid of the pay if you derail, probably for the same reason. And I think their costs were high because they're paying for the GPT vision calls. You just don't have a mass market solution, which is fine, like if you don't want to, but I want to solve the fucking problem for everybody. So anyway, so I was thinking like funnel wise, like you have some content marketing, whatever, where you like you talk about habit science for free. Just like give tons of value information. Like information has such a low marginal cost, so like that's a great lead magnet. And like people sell information, which is a great business because the margins are incredible. The problem is someone else can give that away for free because the marginal cost is zero, and they'll give it away for free because they're using it as a lead magnet for their higher offering. So that other guy gets fucked. But it's good for the world, right? Because you're just the guy who wins is the one who's offering the most value. So it's cool that works out that way. Anyway, so you give all the habit science stuff for free. Then you have the like up the value ladder is like the commitment advice, pay if you derail, as a lead magnet. But you have this problem where you have to iterate inside yourself. You figure it all out. So the next ascension of the value ladder is like you have this commitment advice, but you have all the other stuff, all the atomic habit stuff integrated. So you get to faster adherence to your habits, and you skip all that pain of like solving the iteration on the inside, which might be the primary problem. And then like it could still be a big world. So I was thinking like you solve the cornerstone habits like sleep and diet, exercise and food, and I said that twice, and then work, something like that. Like there's probably some cornerstone habits where like it's like a 20-80 thing. Like if you solve those, then the rest kind of will fall in line easier. So yeah. Oh, and then, okay, so that's the end of that. And then another thing I was thinking about was just like, I had this idea for like a much, much better screen time blocker. Where like you give basic, like what Opal provides, you give for free, and you solve like this freaking screen time access issue by by making it so that you charge them money if they turn that off, which forfeit is validated. So I know it can work. So you give all that for free, and then up the value ladder is like this $8 a month offering where you like use GPT and like vision calls to unlock. So like you might say, make it so that my thing is blocked until I upload a picture of me working at my desk or something, right? Or like my phone is blocked at nighttime before bed at like, let's say 11 p.m., but then you're out somewhere and it's an emergency, you like upload this picture that you're, some evidence that you're out somewhere, GPT unlocks it, whatever. So I feel like, and like, so what I'm thinking for that is like, since I've like worked on this, since I like separately, since I already know channel customer pretty much, like Reddit ads work, which is good. And I know customer problem, like I know the problems in the space. I could basically get to problem solution. And like, I'm going to just not bother with the pitching people. Just make a demo of like what I described. And run some Reddit ads. And the ad will show like the screenshots of the solution, landing pages, you signing up for it. And then credit card free trial, I want to test pricing and see if like people are signing up. And then it's like, you're on the wait list. And like the reason why I want to do this is because all the stuff that I would have to build for like this GPT screen blocker thing is just like a small component inside the rest of AS the way I'm envisioning it now. And actually, maybe I am getting ahead of myself. But it's like a small component anyway. So I have to, assuming I'm right about the solution, I have to build that anyway. It's nice to like split it apart because I can use it as a lead magnet. Like if I give you like Opal quality screen blocking for free, that's a great lead magnet. And then like you have the screen time blocker, and then I ascend those people up to the rest of AS. So I think that would be pretty good. And I'm doing that work anyway. And like there's some cash flow early on. And shouldn't be hard to run that test, right? Just like a little bit of time with Cursor, just making some screenshots that I throw on the ad and landing page. Like that's a pretty good test. And I know what like I know that the sign up conversion rate has to be like 10% or something for the funnel to be profitable. So I think it's a good idea. Okay. So last couple things, pretty much done here. So it looks like channels are there. The early adopters are there in like the volume that I need, right? Because I need like 100 people to get like 10 pre-orders, pretty much. And they're probably reachable. So that's like still risky. But yeah. And yeah, the conclusion is I just need to like increase the number of leads, like 10x the lead acquisitions per day or more. Yeah. And last thing, I just wanted to show you my lean canvas. You should change your lean canvas every so often. So, okay, the very final thing, I just want to show you the lean canvas iterations. So like this is important. Like over time, as you make iterations to like what you think about, you should write them down on your business model representation, which is lean canvas. And you don't do this like super frequently, but like, once a week or two. So you can see like I have this 1A habit app and then this 1B. So the 1B is the change. And then the green stuff is like stuff that is new, and the red is stuff that you removed. So like I learned from someone that there's the Overlord Discord, our accountability thing I mentioned. Okay, someone told me I should like do content marketing basically, or like write down my like the BeMinder guy, like I gave him some ideas about like whatever, and he's like, if you wrote that on Hacker News, which he frequents a lot, he would have for sure read that and stuff. But whatever, that's still a later thing. I'm not worried about that. And then the Reddit one-on-one accountability buddy, concierge MVP stuff. DMing on BeMinder Reddit does not work. Like just the volume is too low over there. And then yeah, concierge MVP. And then problem-wise, like I was thinking about like the positive punishment versus positive reinforcement stuff, but it feels like it's more like it gives you the tracking. You have to figure out what to do on the inside. People are struggling, don't have enough motivation to figure it out. So yeah, so it's good to update your lean canvas. And like I remember Steve Blank has this thing where like at the end of like 3 or 4 years, when you sell the company or whatever, or IPO or whatever, you like make a flip book of all your lean canvases, and then you flip through them all, and then you throw it into a bonfire. So that would be cool to do that one day. But anyway, so yeah, this concludes the CCF accompanying video. This is what I've been up to for the last 2 weeks. It's been pretty shit, to be honest. You step it up, make some sacrifices. Yeah, I think it's good news. I think in general it's good news. Basically, it seems like we have a path to get to where we want to be. We just need to execute on that path, at least in the short term, at least for channel customer fit and customer problem fit. So yeah.